Hello people, this video is purely informative and because you wrote to us on our Instagram account. Football and Trifles, what is it about? Well, Tapia reported a while ago, it seems we found out today about Flavio for asking him for money to protect him in the media, and his most legendary witness is Tovicino. You guys know on the other side that we don't get along neither with Flavio, nor do we actually know each other personally. But there's no chemistry, we think differently. And with Tapia and Tovicino, even less chemistry, right? Here, I don't know, we must have dedicated 10 to 12 videos. Here it's about what one says about the other. The issue is that it reached the court, the case had been dismissed, and now it's being reopened. What does it mean? It's gonna be investigated, we're gonna give you the clear picture. How did this come to light? Because Tovicino posted the court ruling on his social media, or the info on why it's being reopened. And there are some texts that are in the case. What would Flavio Azzaro have said that are powerful? Well, here are some portals that publish, I want to say something, Minute One had published the news. We took a screenshot because we were working on the topic and it went down, and the news is not on the big portals. Here we see it on Bermud Deportivo. Azzaro would have asked Tapia for 12 million pesos in exchange for media protection. Today is March 11th, 2025. Well, and then there from Double Amarilla, we have Data Clave, which is the site of Double Amarilla. They reopened the case against Azzaro and will investigate him for having tried to extort Tapia. And this is the portal that has the strongest text because it is black quoted from 1000. I'm going to turn you over. This is what the journalist would have reproached the president of the Argentine Football Association for when he refused to give him 12 million pesos. What does the court decision that reversed the dismissal say? Well, we're not going to tell you anything. The post by Pablo Tobilino with the heading that says the following in quotes puts, "Start by doing what's necessary, then what's possible, and suddenly you'll be doing the impossible." On that path we are slowly and patiently, those who extort will fall to their knees. Don't forget, it's not about how it starts, but how it ends. And there he ends up putting the judicial resolution, well here we have it, judicial power of the nation. And now we're basically going to summarize what it's all about. And what does all this that Pablo Tobilino posted say? It should also be noted that on Flavio's channel they talked in a certain way. Or did he talk about Tapia in one way before and talks about it in a different way now? And I also have to admit that I have friends who have changed their way of thinking about Tapia. Is it respectable? We can't analyze why it changed in that way. It's a fact that the editorial stance of his channel regarding Tapia has changed from what it was before to what it is now. Just that we underline. Let's go to the simplified explanation. The case involves Flavio Azzaro, a sports journalist accused of blackmailing Claudio Tapia, president of the Argentine Football Association. Azzaro allegedly demanded money from Tapia in exchange for media protection and threatened to use his influence in the media to harm him if he did not pay. Tapia reported the incident backed by a witness and entry records to the Argentine Football Association headquarters. Every time you enter Argentine Football Association, I tell you, do you get registered? Many journalists regularly enter to take notes to look for info. It's not strange that if the witness that Tapia has, who is always there, Pablo Tobilino, people who resolve justice, the Court of Appeals overturned the dismissal, closed the case that the judge had dictated in the first instance. This means that the case against Azzaro will have to be reopened and its judicial process continued. The investigation previously closed and ignored has been reopened and is now proceeding. Key reasons why this was decided. The decision does not rule out the crime of blackmail, bar intimidation. The judges consider that the random threats "I'm going to flip you, pay," or "the boys will make you shit" could be enough to coerce Tapia, even though he is used to media criticism. According to the law, it is not necessary for the threat to be extreme. It is enough that it can influence the decision of the victim, citing, well, a jurist. That's why the case is reopened. Two insufficient pieces of evidence to close the case. The initial judge had accepted the prosecutor's argument that the act was atypical, it did not fit into a crime. The chamber considered that this was not demonstrated with the required certainty. Well, show Article 336, so the case will need to be investigated further, and 3 testimony and evidence. Tapia's account was backed up by a witness, Pablo Tovillino, and a record that by chance or was the Food and Agriculture Organization on the day of the incident, which gives credibility to the complaint. Always present Tovillino, Tovillino of witnesses, find yourself a witness, Pablo Tovillino. Conclusion, justice determined that there are not enough grounds to close the case. At this stage, Azzaro was not declared innocent, but the process must continue to assess whether there was blackmail or intimidation. The resolution emphasizes a thorough investigation of the facts. Before discarding them, it had been closed but reopens. People are investigated. Well, write to me. It's a message. I'm interested in the truth that we can't give an opinion because here it's one person's word against another's. One who supposedly has a witness, and it's Pablito Tovillino. We'll see, folks. Well, comment, debate among yourselves. We're here to always listen to you. This came out from a message from you guys to Instagram. I'm very interested in your feedback. I love you guys. Bye.